I guess for me, it's what innovation really is, because we all talk about being very innovative, and having great ideas and doing new things or innovative things. I always think of innovation being new, which we learned obviously it isn't. It might just be doing something differently or thinking a bit different. So learning what innovation is, and not presuming to use what we already know as being a quick solution is probably the most important.
And lots of things we learned along the way in terms of the tools that we use, but in terms of the actual process, some of the things that I learned was that we can't do everything. It's a huge subject. And I think when we first started, it was kind of like, oh my God, where on earth do we even start? And are we actually best placed to deliver this? And the more insight that we gained and the more people that we talked to was kind of like, no, we can't. We have to partner with people. There are people out there that do this far better than us. We can be coordinating and we can be part of this, but we can't do it all ourselves. And I think we always want to do everything ourselves, but sometimes we're not very good at identifying the people who are already out there doing this.
We talked a lot about actually whether it was our right as housing associations to play in this space, recognising that lots of other organisations are already doing stuff around this agenda. But there certainly seem to be gaps in provision from the work that we did throughout the programme. And actually, it became very clear that exactly the sort of young people who need this level of support are the people living in our homes, living in our communities, and that as housing associations we're actually really well placed to be able to pull in the right partnerships, the right collaborations, and get the right people around the table to kind of make a success of this type of project.
The biggest learning we came up with, absolutely my view, was to test and pilot any idea we came up with. There's perhaps a tendency, once you think you've come up with a good idea, to dive into running with it or trying it out. But we found out throughout this journey that in order to, bottom out any good idea, it needs to be evaluated, tested, trialed before it's run as a full pilot or a full project. Therefore, test things out, make adjustments as you go along, and then launch any idea.
Well, the biggest learning for me was about the mindsets of innovation. Having developed my own approach to innovation over the years and absorbing lots of learning from other people, other organisations around me, taking part in this programme just gave me new perspective on what I was actually doing. So what kinds of concepts I was utilising, and giving them a name was actually really helpful for me, because that's not something I've had much of an opportunity to stop and think about over the years. So now, having looked at those things more objectively and finding out their origins, where they came from, I'm being a bit more purposeful and deliberate in how and when I bring them out of the toolbox.